I'm Japanese, and something big might be exposed very soon. Yo, what's up everybody? Mr. E here. So there's some major stuff going down that we need to talk about today. As you may already know very well, there is this game called Assassin's Creed Shadows. The devs of the game mentioned the following on Xbox Wire. We are showing real historical figures, such as Oda Nobunaga and a lot of events that happened during that time. So you're not only playing in feudal Japan, but learning about this fantastic time period. So apparently this game claims to be pretty accurate about Japan back then. But hold up, because we need to chat about some serious misinformation. In this game, the main character is an African samurai named Yasuke. Now, there is no clear link to this book, but there is a book called African Samurai, The True Story of Yasuke, a legendary black warrior in feudal Japan, by Thomas Locke-Lee. Locke-Lee is an associate professor at Nihon University, and as the title suggests, he claims Yasuke was this legendary samurai from Africa. But here's the deal, it's really not possible. Samurai needed a surname given by their lord, and one of the very few historical records from Japan, like the Shincho Koki, mentions Yasuke didn't have a surname. Therefore, he couldn't have been a samurai by traditional standards whatsoever. And get this, the Japanese records only have a few paragraphs about Yasuke. Meanwhile, Locke-Lee wrote a whopping 480-page book about him. Like, how is that even possible? In the interview, Locke-Lee admitted that he made a lot of assumptions to fill in the gaps. He said, and I quote, "The core things about Yasuke, they were already there. That's what I read in 2009 when I found this first story. There was nothing else extra, and when we make the informed research-based assumptions, at that time, not so much was known about him. It was only a few paragraphs, maybe a couple pages or something like that. This is the factual one points to Japanese version. But then I was asked to team up with Jeffrey Gerald and write the narrative version that you see today. Most of the evidence had already been collected by the other people, but it needed to be interpreted and put into context." So basically this book is mostly based on Locke-Lee's imagination and assumptions. What's wild is that almost every Western media outlet uses Locke-Lee's book as a credible source. And yeah, Assassin's Creed Shadows is no exception. Locke-Lee even talked about these so-called facts on Ubisoft's podcast and major sites like Time and the Smithsonian Magazine. On top of that, the Yasuke Wikipedia page has been edited multiple times since 2015 by somebody named Tottori Tom. Rumor has it this is Locke-Lee himself. Why? Because Locke-Lee spent his first 2 years in Japan in Tottori Prefecture, and his name is Thomas. Tom. Get it? Of course this is just a rumor, so go ahead and take it with a grain of salt. In 2015, this dude was adding stuff to Wikipedia, with references to his own future documents from 2016, a whole year ahead of time. Jeez, talk about sketchy. Also in 2019, January 25th, the user Tottori Tomu once again added another section to Wikipedia, recommending the viewers to read the book written by Locke-Lee. Let me read the part real quick. The first full-length book about Yasuke in English, written by Thomas Locke-Lee and Jeffrey Gerald, called African Samurai, The True Story of Yasuke, a legendary black warrior in feudal Japan, will be published in May 2018. The Post stated that the book was published in 2018, but it actually came out in 2019. So there were some mistakes in there. However, who else would do this other than the famous Locke-Lee himself? Especially considering all the things associated with the user Tottori Tom. All of this seems like his way of adding credibility to his book to boost the sales. And it worked, considering Yasuke got his own anime, a movie in progress, and this book selling pretty well. And of course, this game. Now, don't get me wrong, Wikipedia isn't exactly the most reliable source, but this whole situation has caused a lot of people, both in the West and Japan, to believe this made-up story about Yasuke. And that's hurting Japan's reputation. Some people are accusing us of being racist for not accepting the existence of this legendary black samurai. Well, I really want you to know that we are not rejecting him because he's black. Like I said, we don't care about those woke skin color, those woke crap. We are simply rejecting the false history because it's just not true. Luckily, his appearances on Western major media platforms have spread this false narrative, making people believe in his made-up story. The whole woke culture trend is pushing for racial representation, which is dope, but not at the expense of distorting historical facts. There is even a petition to demand locally correct what he said in the media. I'll drop the link in the description. Oh yeah, and the Yasuke Wikipedia page? It's been messed with in both Japanese and English versions. In both versions, you can clearly see that many people are trying to troll around, dropping irrelevant information, or just simply messing around. They're just being a menace for those who legit want to know and learn the truth. As a result, these websites have been semi-protected. We Japanese have had enough of this. So if you, or any of you out there, spreading the false info or adding any irrelevant junks to Wikipedia, or if you know anybody doing so, please stop. It's making it harder for us to share the truth about Yasuke in Japan. Let's work together to represent all the cultures respectfully and fairly. Peace.